Welcome again to another edition of John's Media World Extra. Yes, Trump is still in the news. He's still feeding into the meme that he is Jesus or a doctor. We don't know for sure, but I have right here for you a video. This is AI Slop. Everybody hates the stuff, but I thought it was an okay parody. Good for listening to if you're just listening to it on a podcast, or if you're viewing it, it's kind of interesting as well. The acting by the AI created actors in this, not too bad. They do a good job. Let's play this.
Are you suffering from a serious life-threatening illness? Has your doctor told you you're probably going to die? My name is Dr. Donald Trump, and I have helped millions of patients with conditions just like yours. Cancer, heart disease, ALS, you name it. Conditions your doctor said were untreatable. I've seen them all, and I fixed them all. I use an advanced technique that the cheating medical establishment don't want you to know about.
Cheating.
The results are, frankly, incredible.
Yep.
Nobody gets results like this.
No one's seen it.
They're the greatest results.
They gave me 6 weeks to live, but then I called the hotline and was healed entirely through the phone.
I was clinically brain dead, and my wife was about to pull the plug when the doctor saved my life.
If you or someone you love is suffering, don't wait. Don't let the corrupt medical establishment tell you what's possible. Call 1-900-NOT-JESUS today. Let's make your health great again.
Clinically brain dead. That would include all MAGAs, but it saved him in some way, shape, or form. Boy, oh boy, what a day. I mean, this meme, he's going to carry this up because he is now being associated with Jesus, dressing like that, and also a doctor who's going to take care of all of our problems. Maybe you can take care of the DoorDash grandma's problem. She's having a hard time paying for her medical bills for her husband, so she's taken an extra job, supposedly DoorDash. She has made other appearances, not as the DoorDash grandma, but, out there making mega personal appearances. So we're thinking she's not real, and her story sounds kind of stupid, really. Her name is Sharon Simmons. She says that the big bad bill will make it easier for her to pay her medical bills. All right. Now, this is based on the fact that now she doesn't have to pay a federal tax on her tips up to $25,000. And that's going to be a little extra money in her pocket and give her the ability to pay for these medical bills run up by her husband. I mean, the story itself is just ridiculous. It couldn't possibly make that kind of difference. But why don't we listen? Why don't we see a video of Sharon Simmons being interviewed by a Republican about the benefits of the big bad bill, saving money and paying for your medical bills. All right.
Simmons, thank you for appearing today. You gave heartfelt testimony. If you can, and you don't know what you don't know, but from your perspective, what do you think this bill is ultimately going to mean for you and the savings that you're going to have?
Well, again, I believe that, it's going to free up some stuff for me.
Free up some stuff for me. Hasn't really thought about the question much. It doesn't seem like she's nailing it down exactly about how she's saving money, on what she's saving money.
It means that I'm going to be able to stay more connected with my family.
Yes, saving money on your tips is going to make you more connected with your family. I got it.
In Missouri, it's going to help with any future treatments. God forbid that he has to have more treatments, but it will
Unbelievable.
help more with that. It is truly, DoorDash is truly a independent, industry. And I enjoy that
Okay.
part of it. I like
Yeah.
being able to, just do what I need to do. And freeing up this extra money means quite a bit to my family.
And Ms. Simmons, do you consider yourself to be wealthy or well-connected?
Not at all.
Mm.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.
All right. Well, let's smile about the fact that she's not well connected or wealthy for that matter. Again, sounds fake. That kind of money is not going to help you pay your medical bills at all. And not only that, the money she might save on that, again, taxing tips is not something that a lot of people working for tips has done. They don't make enough money for the federal tax to kick in. So this is kind of a scam. It is up to $25,000 now, but that's only good for 2 years. This is a temporary tax cut for everybody in the land. They did that purposely. They think it'll help get them reelected in 2028. But let's get back to it. She's going to save some money. Inflation went up to 3.3. Gas prices at the pump are through the damn roof. Health insurance premiums, by the way, have also gone through the roof because the tax credit on the Affordable Care Act have been repealed, the extra one that we put in place during COVID, which really made it affordable. The regular tax cut or credit is really, it's good, but nothing like having that additional tax credit that was added during COVID so everybody could have a chance to go see the doctor in case they did get COVID in the end. But anyway, this is really somebody out there being very cruel because what they're doing is they're telling us this is it, folks. You get that tax cut. Now you can afford to pay your medical bills. That's wrong. It's not right. Obviously, this is BS. It doesn't have to be like this. We could have a universal health care plan for the entire country so none of this happens. She doesn't have to get this extra job. And that's the other thing. Oh, I can pay my bills if I get an extra job. And oh, it's a tip job and I don't have to pay federal taxes on it. Oh my gosh, what a relief. No. Universal health care is the answer to all of this. And I talked to my mega friend in Milwaukee who was complaining about all the fraud that's going on with Medicaid. Well, you know what? We wouldn't have it if we had universal health care in this country. We wouldn't have all these different departments, all these different programs that could actually be, used for fraud. So we could clear up the system, save a lot of money, and everybody gets health care. Every doctor is your doctor. Every hospital is your hospital. Universal health care coverage. It's funny, they always portray liberals, progressives, and Democrats as radical because we want universal health care. But every country, industrialized country in the world has universal health care. We're the only ones making a profit from people getting sick and making it unaffordable for most people in this country. Who's radical? Who's the radical one on that one? Anyway, I really dislike it when people act like, this is it, folks. Can't get any better than that. Get an extra job if you want more money. Not the answer. Not at all the answer. Now, there's a place called The Lever. Check it out. It's really a great news site. Great reporters there. They posted this. As you slog through tax paperwork today, remember that 40 years ago, Ronald Reagan gave an Oval Office address calling for a return-free tax system like the one that exists in every other country. Let's listen to this address. This is a great idea. Why did we not use this idea?
Envision a system where more than half of us would not even have to fill out a return. We call it the return-free system, and it would be totally voluntary. If you decided to participate, you would automatically receive your refund or a letter explaining any additional tax you owe. Should you disagree with this figure, you would be free to fill out your taxes using the regular form. We believe most Americans would go from the long form or the short form to no form.
That's pretty good. It's a good plan. We should definitely be going for that plan, right? Oh my gosh. So after he made that speech, the Reagan Republicans decided to block it for years and years to come. And to the point, of course, where I never even heard of this plan. I think it's a great plan for filing your taxes, right? Now, these tax cuts, you would think that people would just love them and it would make Trump even more popular, but you would be wrong. CNN took a poll. Let's look.
Ain't working too good because Trump is paying the piper when it comes to taxes and the American public. Look at this trend. I mean, again, what massive trends we're seeing from term 1 to term 2. Trump's net approval rating at this point on taxes. In term number 1 in 2018, remember there was that tax cut that was just passed just before tax day back in 2018. Look at this. He was above water at plus 2 points. But down he goes, down he goes. Look at this. He's at minus 28 points as net approval rating on taxes, down 13 points from term number 1. If there are benefits that the American people are liking when it comes to the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, they are not, in fact, giving the 2 thumbs ups to Donald Trump when it comes to that.
I'm reading the fine print there.
Oh, yes. The fine print there. I leave fine print and John's able to find it. Among independents, he is 58 points underwater with independents when it comes to taxes. My goodness gracious.
I'm going to circle that. That is stunning. Again, he says he cut your taxes and people are 58 points opposed to it, independents.
Yes.
All right. In general, this is an interesting question. What do people say about taxes in general, whether they're fair?
Yeah, I think this may be part of the equation of what is going on here. Take a look at this. Okay, say their income taxes are not fair or fair. Back in 2018, again, at this point in Trump's term number 1, 61% of Americans said fair. There was a big upswing that said fair coming off of Obama to Trump. Trump got that benefit. But look right now in term number 2. Look at this. It's a flip-flop. Now the plurality, 49%, say the taxes that they pay are not fair. That has risen 13 points from this point in Trump's term number 1. And look at this. The fair has plummeted down to 47%. That is near an all-time low since 1999, who said that their taxes are fair. And John's off there shaking because these numbers are unbelievable.
Well, because it's after President Trump pushed through this so-called big, beautiful bill, which he says, will give people these tax cuts, which they presumably would be feeling today. So how, what's approval overall of that now law?
Okay, we've saved the best for last, or at least save something good for last. And I think this kind of puts a nice big ribbon, a nice big bow on this segment. Take a look here. Net approval rating of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Look at this. The American people, they don't like it. They don't like it. Look at this, 20 points underwater. And look among independents. Independents, the name of the game. We have seen Trump over and over and over again struggle with independents. And you see it right here. Look at this, 41 points underwater. No wonder that Donald Trump is struggling so much when it comes to the American public and taxes, because the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, the big, beautiful bill everyone's talking about, the American people, Johnny Berman, simply put, do not like it.
The signature legislative achievement, as it is now mid-April heading into the midterm elections, this is where it stands. Harold Dutton, thank you very much for that.
Thank you, my friend.
All right, there you go. Well, don't say we didn't warn you about the big bad bill. It wasn't really going to help a lot of people, just the wealthy. And they are taking it to the bank on us, especially the data centers and the cost of living. It's outrageous. All right, I want to get to something that is kind of important to me, real close to home, because I'm broadcasting from Madison, Wisconsin, the Midwest. No one ever talks about weather in the Midwest. Who cares, right? But we had some really, really bad weather roll through the area. Tornadoes, baseball-sized hail tore into cars and roofing. Just outrageous. I mean, it is something I've never really seen anything like this. And I may need a new roof. And if I get a new roof, it's going to be a steel roof, damn it. And I've wanted one of those for at least 10 years now. Anyway, this is the thing. What's really unsettling, what makes me angry about it, I mean, we're glued to the radio last night, the emergency radio band, and we're following it on the internet, checking out the storms, seeing if there are any tornadoes in or within those bands of storms. And what I realized at this point is that we don't know. We're not getting the messages. We're not getting the warnings the way we used to get them. Now, I've noticed also that they're really bad at predicting rain. They were really good at it. I was actually shocked at how well weather reporting has become. But ever since Trump came in, and he did a thing to NOAA and the National Weather Service that we're not anywhere near where it used to be. And that's the part that is really making me angry about this. I mean, we're dealing with people's lives here. Staff reductions of 600 people at the National Weather Service gone, and that's hindering data collection and also weather forecasting, leading to concerns about reduced warning times for severe weather. And that's something that occurred to me as we were huddled in the basement with all of these sirens going off and tornado warnings. So it's not good. This does not make me feel better about the country. It doesn't make me feel safer. I don't care about the ICE people are not making me feel safer, but then now because they're not getting the weather warnings, because they have really cut back on NOAA and the National Weather Service, we're not getting the weather like we used to. We're not getting the warnings that we need. Flash flood warnings as well. Now, I want to go back to last summer because not only are we unsafe because of the lack of weather warnings and the lack of coverage of these weather systems moving through, but let's go back to RFK Jr. stopping mRNA funding. Now, that was in summer of last year. We haven't really talked about it much, but now there's a new strain of COVID out there. I'm wondering, is anybody doing anything about it? Do we need to actually come up with another vaccine for it? They terminated 22 federal contracts for mRNA-based vaccines, questioning the safety of a technology credited with ending the COVID pandemic and saving millions of lives. That's what they did. They're cutting this off. They've got rid of people. They're not funding it. And here we are with a new COVID strain out there that we may need this mRNA vaccine. Now, RFK Jr. said at the time, vaccines failed to protect effectively, whatever the hell that means, against upper respiratory infections like COVID and the flu. That is not true. And he didn't offer any evidence or proof in regards to that. And yet, this is the thing. The technology's pioneers who came up with this were awarded the 2023 Nobel Prize in Medicine for their work contributing to the unprecedented rate of vaccine development during one of the greatest threats to human health in modern times. So that's what they put a stop to. That's what they stopped funding. So none of us should feel safer because of vaccines, and they're also not even requiring some vaccines now, and we're not feeling safer because they cut back at NOAA and the National Weather Service to alert us of weather systems that are moving through that could be dangerous to us and kill people. All right, leaving you on that happy note, I'm John Peterson. This is Media World Extra. We'll talk again.